Hey, fellow Aquas, how y'all doing? Welcome. We are going to be taking a look at your June through July Litha, summer solstice, or winter solstice, depending on where you are in the world, videos here. So I want to get into the meditation before we get into this beautiful spread because wow, 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 wow. So I saw the image of a mole, as in the animal. Felt the need to clarify that. I saw a rather adorable looking mole. Kind of looked like the mole from, if anyone's familiar, the Charlie Maxey book. And and I saw this mole sort of rooting around in the darkness. And then I saw it use its nose to burrow deep, 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 deep underground. And then I saw it had a little, like its own cave set up. And then I saw this beautiful, like super large, like size of a basketball maybe, this huge diamond. But it was in the shape, it actually looked a little bit more like this, like a piece of um, like crystal, but it was a diamond. And I saw it coming up out of the earth. And I saw that because it was underground in a cave, it wasn't being exposed to the light of day. That felt important. And I saw this mole take some earth and really pack it all around it so that no one could see just how brightly this diamond was glowing. Because it was definitely emitting a glow. And I saw the mole just sitting with it and just sort of dusting it off and looking at it, admiring it and hugging it and holding it. And then I just got this very distinct feeling that this was an image around or representative of something that you are working on, something that you're working towards. This is an idea. This is a goal. This is a project. This is really, and I have tingles. Like I really, this feels like something rather significant, and I feel like you are being called not to expose this to the light of day before it's time. So I saw this mole with this diamond and just keeping it underground, keeping it underground, keeping it underground. And then I saw all of these other people coming, and I could see it was kind of like a split screen, right? But like this way, right? Parallel. And I saw everything happening underground with this mole and the diamond. And then I saw above ground all these different people coming. It felt like an old fair where people were coming out and showing their latest inventions and revealing themselves and going, "Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I've done. What do you think?" And I saw all these people come and go, and it all kind of happened at the same time. It was like, when it rains, it pours. That's what it felt like. Everyone got the memo at the same time and was doing all of this in a certain wave. Then I saw them go away. I saw everyone take their stuff down and then it was empty again. And then the mole took this diamond, brought it up above ground. And because there was nothing else to compete with it, nothing else there, the glow was so bright that it attracted even more people than were there before, right? Coming to look at this diamond. And it stood out more because it was on its own, happening in its own divine timing, not exposed to the light of day prematurely. And it really was like, it took center stage because there was no one else that could even like come close to it. There's something about this. Like it feels very much about timing. It feels significant. Our animal for this time frame is the fox, which is so it's so brilliant. It's almost two on the nose. Fox energy is magician energy, right? This is about manifestation, but this is also about going about things in a way that is very unique to how you flow and who you are. It takes a certain strength and a certain inner confidence to do things on your own time frame, especially when maybe you're surrounded by other people who are doing things and going for things and reaching certain milestones, talking about what they're doing, going after things, but you're feeling like this is not, I could like jump in here. I could say, "Oh, this is what I'm doing." I could say, "Oh, but I have this idea." I could say, "Oh, I got something coming, down the line." I could do that, but I'm feeling like it's better to just not quite yet, to not expose it to the light of day or public consumption yet. There is something about this that feels incredibly exciting. But that fox energy is about that cleverness, right? The fox is at its strongest when it's seen only when it chooses to be. That is what is coming up. And it feels incredibly important. Like the timing just feels like it's everything. And I kind of want to skip ahead to the oracle here, which is the Sun Wheel. So this is from, I'll be recommending this deck in the newsletter. It's the New Seasons of the Witch Litha Oracle deck, which is so beautiful. So we have the Sun Wheel. So 42, which is reduces to 6. Make sure to catch your breath. You are in for an unexpected journey. When I do these spreads, y'all, I meditate first, right? And then I pull the cards. And when this popped up after that meditation with the night sky behind it with this glowing like light here in the middle, I was like, oh, wow. Make sure to catch your breath. You are in for an unexpected journey. Let me tell you something. In that meditation, what I also saw, and this is quite unique, if you've been with me for any length of time, you know, it's very unique that I'm talking about time periods outside of the one that we're in, too far off in the future. Listen closely. Capricorn season. Capricorn season, which is late December to about January 20th, because I know Aquarius season starts on January 20th, right? Late December to January 20th, Capricorn season, Capricorn season, Capricorn season. That is the point in which that mole brought that diamond out from underground and exposed it, and everybody was just like, oh my God, like, I'm absolutely here for it. You know that like that trope, I'm thinking of Frasier because it's probably my favorite show of all time. But you know that trope where someone's planning a party, a birthday party or a dinner party, and someone else plans one on the exact same day, and there's competition about who's going to go to whose party. There's something about Capricorn season where the dance card is empty and it's only your party. I'm telling you right now, Capricorn season. I don't know exactly why or what this is, but very clearly I was shown Capricorn season is the time to bring whatever your diamond is up and expose it to the light of day. I'm telling you. It could be an aspect too, where it's not necessarily a choice, but there are certain actions that you're taking right now or thinking about taking that are going to bear fruit. You're going to see the rewards of during when? Capricorn season. I'm telling you, it's so strong. Very exciting because it very rarely comes out like that. I was like, oh wow, this is very, like, I really feel like spirit for the Aqua Collective is like that time, that's your time, that's when it is. So you are coming through as the Six of Cups, which is really beautiful because the Six of Cups, yes, it does speak about the past. There's a certain nostalgia present in this energy, right? But I love the elephant here. This also speaks of memories, things that we loved to do when we were kids, and doing things with that kind of energy of we do it even if we weren't paid for it. We're doing this from our heartscape. This is truly something that feels like it's aligned with our soul potential. So there's a certain sweetness in this, right? There's a certain like, oh my God, I've been wanting to do this forever. Oh my God, I always dreamed that this might happen. Or, oh my gosh, this just feels really personal to me. So I do feel like the fact that that's the space in which you're operating during this time period, and it's cups, which represents the summer. And if you're in, you know, depending on where you are in the world, like I said, we are looking at the summer solstice, but even if you're in the southern hemisphere, right? It's funny how these things link up in terms of, you know, opposing energies and how we can look to the other to inform us. Because if you're going into the winter solstice, it's kind of a similar energy in a way. Because in the summer, that's when people take vacation, right? That's when you go, okay, you know, relax a little bit. You've reached the midway point of the year. It's time to reflect, and it's time to, you know, sort of let yourself breathe a little bit before you get onto the rest of it, right? And the harvest that comes, right, in August and into the fall. Before we what? Rest again in the winter about 6 months from now. So it's really interesting how this is coming forward. But I do feel like there's this really precious energy around you taking the time to spend some time with some loved ones, but especially in pursuits or dreaming about something that feels incredibly personal to you. Incredibly personal and important. Like it just feels like this matters a lot. It matters a lot to you, like emotionally, like this is coming from your heart, whatever this is. It's very watery in the best way, which leads me to your advice, which is 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. The fact that this is coming up as your advice And then your oracle says, make sure to catch your breath. You are in for an unexpected journey. I mean, Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. I love that this is being depicted by the caterpillar. I'm using the Allison Tarotland deck today because I felt like it wanted to play. I'm so glad it did because it just feels really in alignment with the energy. So, you know, the fact that this is the caterpillar, that there's that also that energy of transformation and cycles and going from, you know, certain stages until you're ready to break out of the cocoon and fly, right? Those little butterflies right there, right? So it's really fascinating. Really, really fascinating. Actually, it's a chrysalis if it's a butterfly, but we're moths, right? We come out of the cocoon. Just with that mole in the darkness, then rising the diamond, it felt very much like from the darkness into the light. I really, really like that. So I love that this is your advice. Whenever this comes up as advice, it's very much also about belief. More water here. It's believing that what you desire, that what you want, is that the alchemist? I feel like is what I'm about to butcher it, but it's like believe that what you want wants you. And another form of that is believing that what's yours will never pass you by. If you believe what you want also wants you. It's beautiful. It's the best advice there is, in my opinion. It's like, okay, I could do that. That's not so hard. So in our place of challenge, we have the Six of Pentacles. So fascinating. Another six here. 6 and 6, right? You know, the Six of Pentacles on a good day is very much about working together. It's about teamwork. It's about reciprocity. It's about one hand feeding the other. It's about understanding that, you know, when we're able to work in tandem, right, with either the universe or other people in a grounded, methodical, and consistent way, then we're able to provide a certain level of, you know, consistent abundance for ourselves, right? This is all about consistency for me, Six of Pentacles. So the fact that this is coming up in your place of challenge as well, I'm taking this a little bit differently because of what I saw in the meditation, which was about keeping that diamond to yourself. There was no teamwork happening under there. It was the mole, right? Who relies on their other senses, not their vision, right? So there was that sense of keeping this to yourself and not exposing it to other energy until it's time to. Remember all of those other people coming forward above ground, showing their inventions, talking about what they're working on, you know, all of that stuff. And then it was like with choosing your right moment, it was very tempting not to come up before it was time. That mole could hear everybody above it talking and chattering, and it was like, oh, I could go up right now. Look at my diamond. I really want to show this diamond. It's so, oh my God, I know it's going to just like really stand out, but it wasn't the right time. So the mole waited, possibly until Capricorn season. And then it came up. Oh, I love it when I have a click moment in the middle. Okay, I did not think of this until right now. Groundhog's Day. Hello, Groundhog's Day. I know it's a groundhog and not a mole, but isn't there that thing of like Puxatawny Bill where we see if the groundhog comes out of its hole and whether it sees its shadow as 6 more weeks of winter or not? And does that not happen around February 2nd, which is Groundhog's Day, which is shortly after the ending of Capricorn season into Aquarius season, wish fulfillment, our birthday season? Interesting. And that diamond and the star energy, that's really fascinating. There really is something about revealing or something coming to light and having its own space, and very much about that time frame. I feel like the fact that this is coming in the place of challenge is that it might be hard to keep something to yourself or not expose it to other energy. It could also be hard to practice some patience around trusting that, you know, you don't need others' opinions maybe as much as you might feel at certain moments. Really step into your confidence and know that what you have brewing is not just magical and operating, you know, on a divine timing in terms of when it happens, because timing really is everything. There's really something about it that don't expose this too soon, because you could be missing out on an opportunity for the ideal debut in some way, shape, or form. There's something about this that's like, don't talk about this too much. Don't reveal it too much before it's time. And again, I feel like there is something like a project, but for some of you, this could also be relationship wise, where you're in a relationship that you're wanting to nurture, or some news that you're wanting to nurture and not reveal before it's time. There's something about this that just, you're going to understand this later on. In your place of victory, it's Queen of Cups, more water. But of course, for us water bearers. So, Queen of Cups coming up in the place of victory. This really speaks of trusting how you feel, really being connected to your emotions, and allowing yourself to move in a way that feels quite intrinsic and right for you, right? When she is having her good day, her intuition is on fire or on water, but she's also able to be her best empathic self. So when she's really connected into those feelings, her head doesn't get involved. Now, us, we are air signs, obviously, but we are water bearers, which means that we have access to all of these feelings and intuition and that divine timing sense that water represents. But we also have the ability to bring our reasoning and our intellect and our objectivity to it as well. And so the fact that she's holding that cup, I'm getting a real strong sense of a water bearer who's really tapped into their empath ability and able to sense things, and really, as a result of doing so, act within divine timing and feeling really good about the choice. More summer energy here as well. There's really something about that. In the place of outcome is fascinating. So we have 5 of Wands here. We have a honey badger, right? What won't they do to get what they want? But traditionally, it's a number of change, but this is traditionally about, competition. This is about struggle. This is about some angsty energy. This is a lot of people coming at you that want something, right? A lot of people going at each other. The fact that this is coming in the place of outcome, I got to tell you what I'm taking from this, especially with that water well in the background. I'm taking this as a little bit more positive because remember how I told you I saw all those people bringing their wares and coming out and showing what they got going on. But then the mole waited and came up and there was no other competition. I feel like part of the reason is that you're going to have a lot of eyes on you. And I feel like this is coming. Make sure to catch your breath. You are in for an unexpected journey. I have a feeling that this, in some way, and I don't mean this in a negative way at all, is going to be a bit more than you bargained for in terms of something that is gestating right now during this time period that we're looking at into June and July. There is something about this that's like you're going to be in for more than you bargained for. You can handle it. You can absolutely handle it. This is a minor arcana, so you can work with this energy and mold it to your will, right? Magician style, fox style. But there's something about this where things are about to be like really, 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 really moving and really going. I feel like you're going to get a lot of attention. The spotlight is going to be on you in some way, where there's either going to be offers, opportunities, people wanting to meet you, people wanting to discuss, people wanting to partner up with you. There's something about this, but it does feel like a positive thing. But and this is, as you know, I'm an Aquarian. So what I'm about to say, I feel like goes against a lot of horoscopes that I read and a lot of people when they talk about Aquarians. When you hear about Aquarian energy, when you read about it, I am sure, like me, you've seen a lot of people say they love people. They're humanitarians. They love to be around people. They're super social. But, I don't find that to be entirely like a complete statement. I would say it's conditional. I would say that who we are inherently is we want to help people and we want to be of service and we want to see the world better than how we found it. That's who we are as Aquarians, right? We are the star. That's who we are. But there's another level to this that says, but we also really need a certain amount of alone time and to be in our own energy, not just to recharge, but because it requires the least amount of energy. We don't have to explain ourselves when we're alone. We don't have to feel out the vibe. And that's a beautiful when we are feeling it. And we love working with other people and we love making the world better. And we love seeing that what we're doing, that someone else is getting it and understanding it. But having a lot of energy coming at us, whether it's positive or whatnot, can feel a little bit like, wow, it's the opposite side. It's the shadow side of what our card is of the star. Because the star, similarly to the Nine of Cups, but in its major form, is an aspect of wish fulfillment. But the shadow side of that wish fulfillment is sometimes be careful what you wish for because it can be a lot, right? And you can find yourself reminiscing to time before you got what you wanted. And it's not what you thought you wanted. You definitely wanted it and you still want it. But there's other things that come along with it that are going to require change and a certain energy level from you that you may find the need to balance with some time on your own and to process everything and be in your own energy again, because that's what requires the least amount of effort, right? Your home base is yourself, ultimately, Aquarians. I really do believe that. Let me know in the comments if you agree. I have absolutely found that to be true for myself and any Aquarian I've ever read for or known. So talk to me in the comments if you relate to that, especially if you are also an Aquarian moon as well. My God. So with that being said, my fellow Aquas, I am so happy. I've been back with you guys for a little bit now. But now I'm so happy to report that she got her UK visa, honey, and she is in the UK on the visa. I'm back at my home base, back with my crow baby here. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. So thank you guys for all of your support and patience along the way as I've been through this journey. I'm going to do a video update about this as well. But just thank you guys again. Please let me know how you're doing in the comments. Please let me know if this helps and resonates. You know I love you the most, and I make no secret of it. And with that being said, just again, I'm so happy to have you here and love you guys so much. And as always, and most of all, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.